Hello and welcome to the forecast for August 18th until the 24th. My name is Desiree Lunae, your acupuncturist, herbalist, and astrologer. And I am loving this week. There is a lot more movement, decision-making, momentum. Mercury is no longer in retrograde. We're going direct, but we got a lot of action from Uranus happening to us. So let's get into it. And we have a new moon. So this is really like profound week. And I love this new moon because I'm biased. It's a Virgo new moon and I'm a Virgo rising. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's kick it off with Monday. Let me make this big. And please do make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video is available to you each week. Okay, so we're starting off with Monday. And here we have the sun in Leo. This is our final few days of the sun in Leo. So this is the playful period. I have my kids back in school, so their play is done. It's time for work now. But we still have a few more days of just enjoying each other's company, celebrating, and just following your inspiration. You should always do that in general, but it's just more lit up right now. Leo is the heart. So doing heart-centered things that your heart really desires and wants, that is important when we're talking about a sun in Leo season. As I mentioned, look, Mercury went direct on the 10th of August, and it is still in its shadow period. So we're not completely out of the woods yet because it had hit 15 degrees of Leo. Right now it's at 7 degrees on a Monday, and it went backwards. So the shadow period is basically the degrees we have to go through up until when it started going retrograde. So once we pass that 15-degree mark of Mercury, which happens August 25th, then we are out of the shadow period. Okay, hopefully that's making sense. Like we're at the degrees that it was retrograding back into. So we definitely have more clarity, better in terms of our schedules and our technology. Did you have a lot of glitches with technology this past few weeks? I certainly did. Oh my goodness. Problems with Zoom, problems with like time and meetings, thinking somebody was on a meeting but they weren't, or vice versa. Like there's just so many complications on my end. But let me know if you've had some issues with technology and scheduling. And in this shadow period, there's still some things we have to wrap up and close up, like some of the issues we've been having. Even travel, like car issues, things of that nature is a very Mercury retrograde thing. So August 25th, we're totally in the clear. But like I said, things are easier. They are a bit easier as it's going direct, and making decisions is easier now than it was before. So, which I gave that recommendation in the last forecast, like that was just not the time. So we still have Pluto opposition that is going on, and Pluto really encourages us to speak truth. And with Mercury being in Leo, speaking from the heart, this is being raw and real and honest and blunt, and also talking about the things that we tend to avoid talking about. So a lot of the hidden things, the buried things, come to the surface when we have a Pluto aspect to Mercury. Now, Mercury is also sextile Mars. Look at that exact 7 degrees. So that's great. Like this brings more passion and drive and more talkativeness. Mercury in Leo with Mars talking to it and Pluto putting this pressure on it, it's going to say things. We're going to be saying things. We're going to be saying a lot of things, and we're going to be saying things with passion and inspiration. And yeah, so that's really nice. And one thing, though, I want to point out is that Sun is starting its square to Uranus. Now, once it hits Virgo at the end of the week, towards the end of the week, it'll be an exact square, but we begin this on Monday, and that square is you're gonna feel it throughout the whole week. And Uranus is about breaking free. It's liberating. So there's going to be something inside of us that it doesn't want to be constrained. It wants to break out. And so there could be like this restless energy here, wanting to change up routine. That's going to be a big theme here, like changing up routines, especially when we have our new moon later on in the week. And so if there's a part of your life that feels restricted or it feels stagnant, like this is going to put some pressure, that Uranus is going to put pressure for you to just, okay, enough. Like a lot of pivots, a lot of changes, a lot of new. And that's the thing with Uranus. Uranus brings new energy. So there's something around like our identity, our purpose, or even our heart's desires that maybe we've just been holding back for a while. And with Uranus putting its pressure on the sun, the heart wants what it wants and it can't contain it anymore. It can't hide it anymore. And we're then connecting into this greater like mini grand trine I've been talking about for months, because this is a very unique configuration when we have Uranus and Pluto and Neptune, right? In this little triangle, you see this blue triangle, they're all at 1 degree. Neptune, Uranus, Pluto's at 2 degrees, but it's very tight. So with this situation, this scenario, we have Uranus, the planet of breakthrough and change and innovation and revolutions, right? And then we have Pluto also creates change and deep transformation. So the changes we're going through, it's happening at a deep cellular level, and it is happening whether we are trying to or not trying to. And then it's pointing at the top, at the apex of this triangle, this blue triangle at Neptune. Saturn is also a part of this too, but I want to focus on Neptune for today. And Neptune is our vision. It's our dreams. It's our fantasies even. And it's the greater, grander dreams that we have, the visions that we have for ourselves and our lives and our higher being. This is a very spiritual planet and it's touching the unseen. And you know what's really cool is that between Pluto and Uranus, it's just catalyzing all of this change and transformation for our dreams to come true and come into reality. With that Saturn being there, wow. Saturn is material, it's structure, it's grounded, it's real. Picture this. Instead of feeling drained, doubting yourself, putting everyone else first, instead you are confidently expressing yourself, your boundaries, living on fire with your soul's mission, and experiencing this deep well of inner peace. This transformation is possible. I live it myself every day. And that's why I created Rise and Thrive. This is a transformative membership that combines the wisdom of Chinese medicine, essential oils, and other healing practices that shift you from surviving to thriving. So click down in the link below to join the Rise and Thrive membership so that you too can live a life in harmony, in peace, and in deep, authentic alignment with your true essence. It's whereas Neptune can be a bit more fantastical, Saturn is reality. So it's like really making our dreams come true and manifest in physical form. So this is something that's going to be around for a bit. And I don't know, this probably hasn't happened in thousands of years, honestly. We are blessed in many ways to be a part of this energy signature that humanity is moving through and living through right now. So we're we are in a really grand elevation, evolution, like ascension, all of that. So the vibrations of the energy of the collective consciousness, it is rising and it's rising fast. So that's this whole Uranus and Gemini situation. Okay. So I've talked about most everything. The one other thing I want to talk about is the moon. The moon is in Gemini on this day, and Gemini is very active. It's an air sign, so it is curious and it's wanting to be busy. It's wanting to buzz here and buzz there and talk to this person and that person there. So yeah, this is going to be like a time where you probably have a lot of phone calls or text messages or emails or meetings, or just it's an active, busy time. And we're going to see that actually get more and more pronounced throughout the week. Okay, so let's continue on to Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have a shift of the moon. The moon is going into Cancer, and this is a much more like yin sign. It's a water sign, and it is emotionally aware, intelligent. It is also very nurturing. Think about Cancer. It's a very mothering sign. And so it's compassionate, empathetic, and the fact that it's sitting with Jupiter, it's actually really close to Jupiter on this day. It's going to be touching Jupiter eventually towards the end of the day. And then Venus too being nearby. This is just all the warm and fuzzies. Okay, this is all the warm and fuzzies. This is all the love and the tenderness and the affection and the warmth that you just want to have with the people in your life, very important people in your life. So the Tuesday would be a great day to maybe after work or middle of the day, whatever, go have a meal with somebody that you want to spend some time with. It's going to be so enjoyable and so just soul to soul connection. I really love this configuration. Or just spending quality time with your family. I would just set aside this day, take advantage of this moment where you are not distracted, not just watching like a show on Netflix or whatever, or staring at phone, but have a time where face to face, really present, having some meaningful conversations, genuine connection. That's what you want to go for on Tuesday, because this is a really cool thing here. Also, moon is, it is square. I'm sorry, Mars. Mars is square the moon. So there is also Mars that does bring some of that passion too and desire. So there's going to be definitely, even internally, like you're going to be craving this kind of affection, warmth, and connection too. Okay, so that's our Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we have then moon is going to be very close to Venus. At this point, this is in the morning on Wednesday around 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. And moon is next to Venus. And Venus is an indicator for love, for relationships. So even more, like I said, really everything I talked about on Tuesday, as far as the moon being in Cancer, Venus is also part of this conversation. So even into Wednesday, make sure you set aside real quality time. It may also be a good moment for those of you who do any creative work, that this can really stimulate creativity as well in your artistry. So you can also make space and time for that too. Okay, then we have another feature. Moon is opposite Pluto here, and Pluto is intense and it's deep. So yeah, like we're talking about real raw conversations that want to surface with, and also being more vulnerable. Pluto can help us to be more vulnerable and just let our guard down. And that's going to add to the level of bonding that we have when we're making this time to be with our loved ones. This is a really sweet, configuration. And Jupiter and Venus, they're past their conjunction, but they are still pretty close. And this is that richness in relationships that I've been talking about all over social media many times over. It's also Neptune and Saturn. There is a blue triangle line between the moon, Neptune, and Saturn. So this brings even more that dreaminess. Like I said, this is a really good artistic creative time. So it might stimulate those juices for you. And Saturn brings groundedness and seriousness too. So between this Pluto and Saturn talking to the moon, like we are showing our commitment within our relation, commitment towards family too. This could be a time where you're like really finding yourself wanting to serve your family, love on your family, nurture your family, and build better structures for the family. That took me a while. Being a single parent, that definitely took me a while to find my groove here. But if you feel like your structure or routines within the family are not being lived out in the way that you desire it to be or idealize it to be, this would be a great moment to revisit that and be like, hey, like maybe we should all sit together and have dinner as a family rather than being so separate and on our devices and not connected. Okay, just to give you an idea. Okay, so that's our Wednesday. Let's go to Thursday. Now, Thursday, moon changes signs and it is in Leo now. And in Leo, okay, so moon is in Leo, and Leo is a sign that is very expressive and emotions are on the surface, meaning your feelings are seen. Your feelings are felt by others. And because Mercury is right next to it, like this is the communication of your feelings. This is the expressing of your feelings. This is a good time to share what you're really going through with the people in your life. It's going to be heard and validated and understood more. And then with the Mars talking to this in a sextile, like it just, people are going to feel your passion. If you're passionate about something, you're really into something, tell people about it. Talk about it. Just in general, talk about what's on your heart. And that's what I love about all these Leo planets right now, especially on this day. It's easier to be heard, it's easier to be seen, it's easier to be respected and admired and all of that. Yeah, go ahead and speak it out. And Pluto has got a light opposition, but either way, like you're speaking truth here. You are expressing and sharing truth. And this again brings that like vulnerability and being honest and open and truthful about just your internal world and what you've been going through. So it's just going to be easier to talk to. So if it's been something that you've been challenged by, it's been hard for you to express yourself, this would be a great day to go get therapy, for example, or work with someone in the healing capacity, because you'll have greater access to communicate and put into words like exactly what you're feeling. I don't know if you do. For me, like there are definitely seasons and times where I feel it, yet I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to share a story to explain what it is that I'm going through or what I'm feeling. Here, it's just going to come out so smooth. You're going to have the words for it, and it will be well received, is my point here for Thursday. Okay, for Friday, let's go to Friday. Now, Friday, we need to talk about this Venus that is in opposition to Pluto. It's starting now, but it's going to peak at around August 26th. So this is going to talk about themes of like love, right? That's Venus, love, relationships. Now, remember, this can be the love relationships, but it's also friendships too. It's just relationships in general. And Pluto is in opposition to this. So here, like you could crave more intimacy. Absolutely. You can crave like depth in your relationships. And we don't want something that's superficial or just skating the surface here. Venus wants to go deep real fast. Okay. We want like soul to soul connection. And we see that theme happening a lot this week, especially with Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. But Pluto is emphasizing this fact a lot. And sometimes there's power struggles with Venus opposite Pluto, meaning like feelings of jealousy come up or relationships that could be manipulative. Another thing with Pluto is it's a purgative, it's detoxifying. And if you have relationships that are toxic, Pluto can be a catalyst to purge and eliminate and just get rid of, expel relationships that are not healthy for you too. So that's another thing to keep track of. Okay, so that's for Saturday. I am so thrilled about Saturday. This is the new moon in Virgo, and it's literally at the beginning of Virgo. It's at 0 degrees and 22 minutes. It's happening exactly at 2:05 in the morning Eastern time. So it's in the wee hours of the morning. And we're not at an eclipse yet. We're going to hit an eclipse in September, but there is a south node sitting here in Virgo still, and it's pretty close by to the moon and the sun. Now, this is a new moon. So here we're talking about setting new intentions and planting these new moon seeds in Virgo with the south node present. But not only that, look, because every new moon is unique, it's also in square with Uranus. My goodness. So let's just talk about Virgo in general. Virgo is about progress. It's about growth. Virgo is also very efficient and it cares about health. And when we talk about health, I'm talking, yes, at the level of the physical body, but also emotional health, mental health. Like it wants homeostasis. It wants order. One of its main functions is to create order out of chaos. And so here, Virgo is also connected to cleansing and eliminating clutter and waste and anything that gunks up our systems, anything that isn't efficient, it's not optimized. Virgo releases and lets go of. It likes to tidy things up. It likes things to be perfect, and that's the shadow side is extreme perfectionism. But Virgo really relates a lot to our health routines and how we take care of ourselves. It's an earth sign, so it's very nurturing and supportive of your health and well-being. And so we also have South Node here. And South Node is that letting go. Wherever we see South Node, we see like a volume down, releasing, surrendering, letting go. So here, and then now we add Uranus, which brings great change, brand new energies. So there is a shakeup. There is a shakeup. There is a massive change that is happening around our health routines, around just our lifestyle routines, and really buttoning up and making more perfect. I'm not saying perfectionism, but just making progress and making better, optimizing, being more efficient in the way that we take care of ourselves. Again, at all levels, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our relationships, taking care of our emotional and mental wellness. So here it's like we need to change something up. Something needs to change in the way that we do our daily routines that impact and affect our well-being. And that could present itself in many different ways. Let me know, what house is this new moon happening in for you? Comment down below, because like in this chart, to give you an example, it's literally in the fourth house. And the fourth house, so this is if you're a Gemini rising, this would be relevant to you because Virgo is in the fourth house. And so the fourth house is literally the home and family. So maybe this person would need to change structures or routines around family dynamics or family like rituals. Kids come home from school, you do your homework. Now school's starting, right? Do your homework, you eat your dinner, you shower, brush your teeth, right? Something like, but it could also be like around the house, literally like cleansing the house and tidying up the house and clearing the house of unnecessary items that are creating more stagnation in the home. So that's another way to interpret it. So this is if Virgo is in your fourth house. Let me know what house yours is in. And then I also have a link down below in the description, a PDF where you can look up what the meanings of the houses are. What house is this new moon? What kind of new moon seeds are you planting? What are you cleansing up, tidying up, releasing, like getting better, perfecting your rituals and routines around in what area of your life? Okay. So I would say, I feel like it's a very productive new moon, and I love that. All right, now we're going to go to Sunday. Sunday, I just want to really emphasize this right here is this square between Uranus and the sun. And this square is 1 degree exact square. So this is that whole need to liberate and break out. Look, you've already planted the new moon seeds on Saturday, and this Uranus is just going to pound on it and emphasize it even more. Be like total shakeup. And that's what Uranus does, brings extreme change and brings the unexpected and basically takes you up into the next level. So wherever your new moon seeds are planted, wow, it's going to be next level status for you. So this is a very breakthrough, liberating energy, and I love that. And it's going to be affecting us for a few more days after this, maybe 4 more days after this, so into next week. But just know that peak is happening on Sunday. And there's a nice trine from Venus to Saturn and Neptune, and this really like grounds and stabilizes our relation. Yeah, that Pluto has that influence, and it might purge some relationships. It's possible, but it's going to bring out the truth, who truly is your friend. And then you add this beautiful commitment and loyalty and depth that we get from Neptune and Saturn too. So I feel like there's going to be a call on really people revealing themselves and people showing their true colors and showing if they truly are your friend or not. So that's another theme I see happening in the background. All right. Thank you so much. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share away, and we will see you next week for the forecast. Do you find yourself giving more than receiving, doubting your worth, and maybe even hiding your powerful gifts from the world? These are signs of someone being disconnected with their soul's highest expression. I'm Desiree, an acupuncturist and astrologer, and through my own healing journey of self-discovery, I have learned how to shift these lower frequency states into empowered living. I use Chinese medicine, essential oils, astrology, as well as work that brings together ancient wisdom and modern healing practices practices. So I want to introduce to you Rise and Thrive. This is a unique membership program where you'll be receiving quarterly workshops, guided meditations, and essential oil blend recipes that are specifically designed for empathic, hypersensitive women like you. Unlike other one-off workshops or some generic self-help program, understand that Rise and Thrive offers ongoing support, practical tools that help you to create lasting and progressive transformation. So at just $61 per quarter, it is the most affordable way to work with me consistently. So click on the link down below, join the Rise and Thrive membership, the community, and begin your journey into living your authentic, empowered life.